Hey guys, today we're kicking off our Christmas in July special. I'm very pleased and honored to be kicking off our first episode with Charmin from Charmin's Kitchen in Canada. Awesome cook, of course. She does lots and lots of videos, lots of Guyanese stuff, Caribbean stuff. Go check her out. She's teaming up with me. I'm making some pepper pot in the stove right now, and she's making some Guyana bread, flat bread and some loaf bread. And you know that's what goes with our pepper pot on Christmas morning. And Santa is dropping by to taste this delicious pepper pot. So let's get right into the kitchen and start cooking our pepper pot. Pepper pot is Guyana's most iconic dish. It is usually served during Christmas time, but why wait? And it's served with nice hot homemade Guyana bread. Now let me show you exactly how we reach to this plate of delicious pepper pot. Pepper pot has a few main ingredients, and this is the main man. You don't have CASSAREEP, don't even attempt to make pepper pot. Browning and those things can't work. Thyme, some broadleaf thyme or Spanish oregano they call this too, but these two very important to this dish, and so is Mr. Basil, or in Guyana we call it mardman pork. Cinnamon, one or two sticks is fine, just to give some nice flavor. Garlic, of course, and we got some other ingredients, onion, and our meat. Anytime I make pepper pot, I love to use the skin, or they call it cow face in Guyana. Some regular beef, and I got some bone parts like the neck bones. And here we have some oxtail and some cow heel. Now I already went ahead and pre-cooked these for about an hour and a half. I'm going to show you how it was done. This is just a braising process, add some salt, some garlic and onions. You can leave these in big chunks because this is going to be slow cooked for about an hour and a half, sometimes 2 hours, depending on the tenderizing process of the meat. I don't have a pressure cooker. I don't like pressure cooker, so I usually slow cook my food. So it's braising. I'm going to add some water, just enough to cover, just right to the top. Then I'm going to cover this, bring it up to a boil, and turn the heat down and let it cook for about an hour, hour and a half, hour 45 minutes. There, I'm going to take it out, and we can get right back to this, setting up our main pot. And there it is. That was that process. Pepper, of course. I've got one hot pepper and a couple of flavoring Guyana yellow pepper. Some people add sugar, but my CASSAREEP is very nice. I got this in the fridge for about 2 years now, so let's get started. I don't need any sugar. You're just gonna saute your onions and garlic just for a minute. If you notice, everything is whole and big because this pot, everything will melt out. Add our meat and let this saute for a couple of minutes. Put in some salt, toss this around. Cover this. Keep turning it. You don't want it to catch in the bottom and burn. We're gonna add our aromatics, our thyme. I'm just throwing it in just like this. As I said, everything will melt out. You watch at the end and see. Put in our cinnamon and our peppers now. This is a not rush me dish. You gotta take your time with pepper pot. Very simple dish. This is usually made the night before of Christmas. If you notice, it's 9 o'clock at night. And my dish will done just about midnight. Whenever I'm making pepper pot, that's how I always do it. My kids are around, we sit down, read some stories, spend some quality time. Now I'm going to add the oxtail and the cow heel to this, or cow foot. Either one is the same thing. And meat looking real good. See, when I throw it in the thyme hole, all the leaves come off and just leave the stem. You can just remove it so easily. And you can do this to any other dish that you use thyme in. Mix everything up real nice. Now we're gonna add our CASSAREEP. This is about a cup of CASSAREEP that I'm using. My CASSAREEP is pure Guyana Pomeroon CASSAREEP. 1 cup, and look at my pot, all covered and coated. This is the remaining thyme. We call this broadleaf thyme in Guyana. Put in the rest of the basil or mardman poke. I wonder why this call this thing mardman poke. Maybe somebody can leave me a comment below and let me know why. Cut up our scallions. You see everything is big. It's gonna melt out. Don't worry about it. This food gonna be lashing when it's done. Cover that. Let it cook down slow and nice. Just so we can add some water to this pot. So enough water just to cover the meat. Right. Looking good, looking good. We're gonna cover this, turn it down. Sometimes you could watch it to make sure it's not catching or burning on the bottom. Then you know you're gonna set this down now and don't trouble it again for a while. Turn it down real low and let it just take its time and cook. Notice the time, 11:55, almost 12 o'clock. Pepper pot is almost done. I'm gonna add some of these fresh greens in it now. The scallion and a little bit of mardman poke I had on the side. This just give it an extra nice flavor just when you go to eat. I'm gonna let this cook just for 5 minutes more and that's it. Take it off. I hope this bread coming from Canada. This bread supposed to come. Santa have to drop this bread off just now. It's Christmas in July special. I'm gonna have to turn this off now. It's done. Usually we eat this the following morning for Christmas or breakfast. But I'm gonna dish out some and show you how nice and delicious this thing looks. That's the cow heel. There we go. Some of the skin. And there's the oxtail. Everything is soft and nice. The CASSAREEP, which is from cassava, they extract the juice. You know, it's a process to make that. You know, it's an ancient dish from the Amerindian people of Guyana. Look at that. Lovely, delicious. Well, you know what coming next, right? Santa done drop it off. It's fresh, nice bread. Homemade. Look at that. Delicious, delicious. Bread and some hot pepper pot. Lovely, lovely pepper pot. Now this dish is usually served the morning of Christmas. So the following morning you want to check it, and usually there's some little bit of fat is usually on top, but mine didn't have any. So I'm going to turn on the heat at the stove and let it heat up. Then this is how we usually eat it. Dish it out, and then we go eat for breakfast on Christmas morning. And this kitchen is smelling so nice, like Christmas. Right now in Christmas. Christmas in July. I'm going to take out some and go eat my breakfast now. All you got to do is soak this bread in that nice sauce. I'm sure this bringing back memories to a lot of people, but why wait till Christmas to enjoy this? You could make pepper pot any time of the year you feel like. Gotta lash into this bread. See, just let it soak right in a nice sauce. Man, I tell you, a little piece of meat and you're good. Now, of course, pepper pot is with bread. So, I got my bread from Canada, from my sister Sharmin, from Sharmin's Kitchen. You guys have to go check out her channel. Check out this video that she did with the bread. Awesome, awesome. Go give her lots of support. Show her how we do it on Hook and Cook with Vlad Fam. It was the night before Christmas. Ho, 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 ho.
Vlad, I have the bread out here.
What?
Come and get it. Hi guys, it's Sharmin'S kitchen here, and today I'm gonna be doing something a little bit different. For our US friends, they celebrate Christmas in July, and today I'm gonna be doing a collab with one of our fellow Guyanese YouTuber who lives in Florida. His YouTube channel name is Hook and Cook with Vlad Family. We are Guyanese YouTubers who are showcasing our culture and food through our cooking. So I'm proud today to do this collab with Vlad, and the dish that we're doing today is one of Guyana's national dish, pepper pot and bread. And as I said earlier, they're celebrating Christmas in July, so this is the perfect recipe, celebrating Christmas in July. So for the bread today, I have all my ingredients laid out. I have the flour, I have here a little bit of warm milk, some brown sugar, I have my yeast here, and I have some butter and a little, about a tablespoon of vegetable shortening. What I'm gonna do first of all, we're gonna activate our yeast, and then in this measuring cup, I will add my yeast. And to activate that yeast very well, it goes paired well with some sugar, and I'm using brown sugar. And I am gonna add a little bit of water. I don't like to add all my liquid when I'm activating the yeast. And I will stir this up a little. And I'm gonna cover this down for 10 minutes, come back to it, and it's gonna be fully activated before we start kneading the dough. So now I'm gonna start mixing in the butter. So I have my butter here that I'm adding to the flour, and I have my little piece of vegetable shortening, and these make the bread nice and moist and very flavorful. So I have to work in the butter and the shortening, and you want to use room temperature butter for this, so you can mix it in the flour easily. So I'm gonna work this in, and then I'll come back and show you the next step. I mixed in the butter and the shortening, and this is how you want the texture to look, like a oatmeal kind of texture. So now I'm gonna make a well here, and I just want to show how high my yeast has activated. Look at that. We just put in a little bit up to here, and it's halfway of this measuring cup. So I'm gonna put that in here. I want to get out all of what's inside of this cup, and then I'm gonna add the rest of the sugar into the rest of liquid. And I have the milk here that I'm adding is gonna bring out a real nice texture and flavor to the bread. So I just need to mix in my sugar to the liquid, and then I'll show you the next step. So now we're gonna add the rest of the liquid. I'm just holding back a little, because if it's too much, we can't take it out. But if it's less, we can always add. So I just want to knead it dough so it's not so sticky and nice and firm, because it's really, really nice and soft here. And I'm just gonna make sure that I have a nice firm dough. It smells so nice with that milk and sugar. Very, very moist. This is so easy to make. Guys, please don't be afraid of trying out bread recipe. You will be happy and you will be very proud of yourself once you try this one time. So the next thing now what I'm gonna do, I'm just gonna make it nice and round, and I'm gonna leave it in here covered with a tea towel in a nice warm place. We'll come back to it after an hour. You can leave it for longer, and then we will start the next process. So guys, now I'm gonna check the dough. Wow, it has risen and it smells so nice. So now is the second step. So we're gonna punch this dough, and I'm gonna take this dough out. From here, I already cleaned my countertop. We're gonna knead this dough back, and then I'm gonna form my loaves. So we wanna nicely knead it. It's really super soft at the moment, and this is how you want your dough to be. So I'm gonna give it a good kneading, and then I will start putting it in the loaf pan, and then I'm gonna plait one. I'm doing a plait version and just a regular loaf bread. This dough, I can get 2 bread out of it, and if you're making small ones, you can get more. So I will have to let it rest for a little bit more before we bake it. So after kneading this dough some more, I'm gonna cut it in 2 because I'm making 2 loaves. And for the plait bread, I'm gonna separate this dough into 3 pieces. Actually, I need a little strip too for the side. So this is what I do for my plait bread. I can tell this is gonna be a good bread because the dough is super soft. So one thing I do is that I roll the little strips out that I'm gonna plait the bread with. Little strip like that, and nothing fancy. Just make sure that they have the same length, so when you're plaiting them, you're gonna have the same size. And then I'm gonna roll out this one as well. So right at the top here, before I start braiding this, I just join the 3 pieces together, and then just like when you're plaiting here, I'm gonna do that, and we're gonna make sure that we have a nice plait on the bread. You don't have to do it perfect, but when it's done, you will see what you're looking for. So just X and go along like that, and then keep going at it. No. So right at the end, you're gonna continue with your pattern that you're doing, and just fold in the ends like that. And I'm gonna let this bread rest again. I'm just gonna do this. I'm just gonna do this. They do this back home, and I am just following what we did. I'm gonna let it rest in the pan that I'm baking it in, and we will come back after an hour to check to see how much more it has risen. So for the other loaf bread, I'm just gonna stretch it out a little. I have a loaf pan here that I just brushed with some butter. I'm gonna put this into the pan. I will leave it for an hour, and then we'll come back and check it out. So guys, here is my plait loaf, and it has risen. It looks real out of shape now that it's risen. My oven is ready. I'm gonna put this in about 20 minutes, and I will have bread very soon. I want to show the loaf pan as well. I'm gonna put both in at the same time. Look at that, right over the pan. It has risen, and it is almost flowing over. So these babies are going in now, and we will soon have our nice delicious homemade bread for Vlad's Guyanese delicious pepper pot. So here is the 2 loaves of bread, just came out of the oven. And what I like to do, I like to brush them with some butter, and because it gives a nice sheen and it will give a beautiful finish. I'm gonna take them out the pan soon, and these are ready to ship to my friend Vlad for his pepper pot in Florida. So my brother Vlad, here is your homemade bread for your pepper pot. Celebrating Christmas in July. I did the 1 plat bread and 1 loaf bread. I just want to show how these breads are nice and soft. When you press them like that, they're coming right back at you. They're very nice and hot at the moment. So to all my viewers and subscribers, please don't forget to check out Vlad's channel. He is an amazing cook, and he have a lot of different twists, a little bit of Trinidadian cooking in there and some different cooking flair. He's also known for his fishing adventures. So please guys, his channel is called Hook and Cook with Vlad and Family. Please remember to check him out. I'm doing a delivery for Vlad tonight, so I'm trying to deliver this bread by myself.
Just want to say a quick thank you to Sharmin and her entire family for this awesome Christmas in July collaboration, our pepper pot, and Sharmin's awesome homemade Guyana flatbread. I do hope you enjoyed these videos. Please hit the like button and don't forget to subscribe. And as always, thanks for watching. Hope to see you soon.